Charter Academy to order and ask you all to please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Note the presence of all of our board members and ask for a motion to adopt the agenda. Assuming there's no changes to the agenda, no changes.
So moved.
Second. Okay, moved and seconded by Member Bannister. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And I have no request to speak, so we'll move on to the LCAP. Oh, sorry. Mr. B.
So I was able to thankfully present on our LCAP started last week, and I'm happy to kind of see that continue on in today's presentation for our local indicators from the California dashboard and see some connections there. But just kind of want to open up if there are any further questions concerning our LCAP plan from last week.
Questions? Do we need a motion on this? We do, right? So I have a motion to approve the LCAP.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have the consent calendar. Any questions or comments on that?
I need to pull comments.
Okay. You just want to abstain from the
Yeah.
minutes?
Yes.
Okay. So motion to,
I'll move approval.
all right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
With one abstention on the minutes.
Yes.
Thank you. The next item is our dashboard indicators. Is that you, Justine? Thank you.
Good evening, Board President Ingram and members of the board, Superintendent Meeks, members of cabinet. Thank you for letting me be here this evening and kind of continue the conversation like I talked about last week as far as our LCAP and its effects. And so talking today about our local indicators on the dashboard, and the way that I really see this is kind of our opportunity to share with our families and the community how our LCAP is kind of in effect at our school and beyond, and get our stakeholder engagement input in there as well. And so jumping right in to our dashboards, we have performance indicators, and what we have to do on an annual basis is measure that progress when it comes to those indicators, report those results at a regularly scheduled board meeting, and then report it publicly through the California School Dashboard. Our local indicators, we have number 1 priority, basic conditions at our school. Priority 2, implementation of state academic standards. Priority 3, parent engagement. Priority 6, local climate survey. And priority 7, our access to a broad course of study. So we're going to look at each one of those a little more closely. Area priority 1, these are our basic conditions at school, making sure that our teachers are correctly assigned, making sure that they have access to standards-based materials, and making sure that our facilities meet the standard. And in all 3 areas, there were 0 findings, so we're doing well. Priority 2, this is implementation of state academic standards. And this is really our school site council and our leadership team looking closely at how we're doing in applying our standards to our students and our students grasping those standards. We had areas of strength. Our biggest area of strength was really our area in math. We've spent the last 3 years sharing with you what we've done, our work we've done with mathematical mindset, the work we've done with our lesson studies, our interventions built within the school days now, the way we're tracking those students to ensure that they're getting the support that they need, challenging students who need that level of rigor to really challenge them. And so we really felt strong in that area. We felt strong in the area of visual and performing arts, and really identifying learning needs for our staff, and really taking where we can, taking our finances and putting in the area of professional development, especially through the last couple of years. Our teachers have really kind of taken on that mantle, even though things have been a little bit difficult at times, to continue learning and applying their learning in the classroom. Definitely some areas that we saw growth is needed, in particular in the area of English language development, and really diving into our English learners and making sure that that's taking place in the survey One thing I remember talking specifically to this last year is that we provide extra support for English learners outside of the school day, but making sure that our general education teachers are applying that in the school day, in their lessons all the time is so very important. And so that was one area of growth. And then the area of our history, social science. And I know that that's an area that we're currently looking into right now, and is an area that is being addressed. For priority 3, parent engagement, this is an area we really take pride in. We feel like we have great communication with our families and provide opportunities to have their voices heard on a pretty consistent basis. There were 2 areas that kind of surprisingly ranked in the 77th. 77% of our families felt like we were doing a good job, which is low for us. And both areas have the same idea. It's supporting staff to learn more about our families. And so having the families, we feel like we have good 2-way communication, but maybe you take for granted providing families the opportunity to kind of speak back to you. And so that's one area that we really wanted to kind of dive into and find ways to make it easier for them to communicate with us. And so when we say things like, we have a great math night coming up, maybe the attendance isn't as strong as we'd like to see, finding out how we can get our families there, even if it's virtually, or provide other opportunities, different times of the day, things like that. And surveys throughout the year a little more consistently so that parents can provide their input outside of just the end of year culminating kind of surveys that we've been doing. Priority 6, our local climate survey. These are California Healthy Kids Survey. Great growth this year. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we just talked about kind of a difficult time for our students and really needing that social emotional learning. And one area we talked about is the kids didn't feel like maybe they had that connection to school. And it was neat to see 81% of our students responding that they felt connected at school, that 88% of our kids said that they felt safe at school, and that 80% of our kids felt like they had that caring adult on campus that they can go to. So tremendous growth over the last year that we're really proud of there. We want to continue that. And so a big part of our LCAP is our school counselor. And I talked about her last week and how she's connected to our students. She's there right now at summer school, still running social emotional learning lessons with all of our kids. She has an intern on campus that's helping her. We talked about last week how she wrote a grant and receiving funds to further connect with our kids. And so that's a big part of that. Priority 7, access to a broad course of study. Our kids, I feel very fortunate. Our kids K-8 have Spanish instruction, they have art instruction, they have music instruction, design and STEAM 6th to 8th grade. They have a host of elective choices, interventions in the school day, enrichments after school. There's a lot of opportunities to get connected at school and really expose yourself to a lot of different areas of interest. And so we're very proud of that.
I just have one question. Ms. Reed, will you explain why or how it is that the 7, there's the priorities up here, but there's some skipped by number? So you have priority 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7.
Yeah, so these are our local.
In between?
Yeah, these are our local indicators. So the state gives you a list of indicators that are approved to pull from. These are our local indicators for our particular local education agency that we've chosen to focus on.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so they give you options, and these are the ones you've chosen. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thanks. Questions? All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're down to additional administrative comments, information. Board have any comments, questions? We just saw you a week ago, so not much has happened in the school. All right, then if there are no board comments, then I will adjourn this meeting and we need to go back in the closed session. Back like to call the meeting of the YCJUSD Unified School District to order and ask you all to please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know the presence of all of our board members and ask if we could have a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Before we get on to our agenda and our comment section, I have an announcement from closed session. The Board of Education took action on a motion made by Member Miller and seconded by Member Coate and followed by a 5-0 vote to appoint Daniel Jervis as the position of principal of Ukiah High School.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's definitely an honor and it's a humbling experience to be able to have your support in this very important position. I'm really excited to be able to take some of the things that we did at Parkview over the last 3 years with me to the high school and expand and be able to really be a leader for that school and help the team really take that next step moving forward. I can't wait to join the team up there. One of the things that I realized through this process is that the students that were 6th graders when I came to Parkview just promoted this year. And so being able to transition with them and now they get to start as their freshman year and I get to be with them through that process is just something that's it's something I can't put into words how special that is. So thank you so much for your trust and your faith. And I know Ukiah is known for some excellent things and we won't let you down. We'll keep that going. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? We're really looking forward to having you there. And would you like to introduce your family?
Sure. I have my wife, Lindsay, who is a clerk at Valley Elementary. And then I have my son, Mason, who's a 2nd grader at Dunlap.
Well, you guys are all over the district then.
Absolutely. Okay, all the way through.
Yep. Okay. Congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much.
We're so excited for you and the Thunderbird family.
Thank you so much.
Okay, going on to our public comments section. The first one I have is Katrina Lumley. You asked to speak during this part, right, Katrina? Not later.
Good evening, President Ingram and other board members and other staff. I'm just up here to ask you that you would please not bring up item 721 on the agenda, brain pop. We found some disturbing videos, 2 of them. I emailed them to all the board members and to Superintendent Binks. And we just would like some time to review those videos with the public, get them to the parents. They involve CRT and some gender pronouns that we found disturbing. We also wanted to know the process. I know the curriculum, the textbooks, we're able to review, but since these are all videos, those were not out for review. So we're curious what the process is for that, for review of the videos. I know you can't answer me right now, but we would like you to get back to us on that. So like I said, we would really like you to take that off the agenda so that we do have time to review that with the public. If not, if you do go forward with that, then we're going to go ahead and show those videos to the parents, to the public, so they have a chance to look at it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, Janine Peace. Janine? Oh, you want to speak then? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. And the same for Joan Lazorda? I probably didn't do that right. Laura, did you want to speak now or would you like to wait? It doesn't matter, whichever you would like. You're both on the same topic.
Good evening, all. I just wanted to back her up and reiterate that I'd like you to take it off, brain pop off. I used it in the past, many years ago, as I did work for Valley Elementary in another charter school in San Diego. And yeah, in the beginning, brain pop was pretty right on, not anymore. Now with all the changes going on in CRT, pronouns and this and that, I just like to keep education, arithmetic, language, science, history, and not any of the other cultural changes or fads that are going through there. Are sorry, but next term changes. So if you could take it off, I would really appreciate that, or if not, at least reschedule it till August, so the parents that are back on vacation, or I guess July, for here for school, can have a chance to look at it over the summer, so we can inform them better.
Thank you. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is a CRI-ROC report. Who has that?
I have that just
Okay.
real quickly. I would like to announce that we had 50 students at Yucaipa High School in the certified medical assistant class. 50 students received CPR training and certification, which is wonderful to have that ability on campus. And then also 25 of our medical assistant students passed what I understand is a very rigorous test and are now certified medical assistants. And on a side note, we did appoint a new chief business officer at CRI-ROC, and it's one of our former employees in Yucaipa, Kevin Keith. He says that happens all the time. Keith Bacon, who was in our business department. So we're glad to have him kind of come full circle and back at CRI-ROC with us. That's it.
Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is a second review of board bylaws regarding the student board member. Any comments or questions or a motion on that?
I'll move approve.
Moved by member Spellings,
I'll second.
seconded by member Bannister, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next one is a resolution regarding the school district elections. Any comments, questions, or a motion?
I'll move approval.
You have to do it first.
Second.
Okay, moved by member Snelling, seconded by member Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The next one is our agreement with Life by Design. Any comments or questions on that?
Move approval.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next one is our local control accountability plan. Do you have no more comments on that? We heard the public hearing last week. Any comments or questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And then the LCAP federal addendum, same thing.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item is our proposed budget. No comments on that?
Presentation last time too.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ingram. So, yeah, last week I presented on the budget. I'm still waiting for final approval from the state budget so we can report accurate numbers to you. We'll do that within 45 days of the state passing their budget.
Okay, which does not look like it will come June 30th. Is that what I'm hearing?
We're hopeful.
Oh.
We're hopeful.
Okay, all right.
And I just want to say that I called and talked to Dr. Freeman because I was unable to be here when he made the presentation, so I'll just
Good, all right. So do I have a motion to approve this item?
move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The EPA spending plan, which was also had a hearing last week. Is there any comments or questions on that? Not a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And then also the need for the access to the minimum recommended reserve. That was also on the agenda last week.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next one is our resolution regarding the annual special tax CFD. Are there any comments on that one? Questions, from staff, anybody? This is all mandated. Yeah. this is all mandated
I'll move
stuff.
approval.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. The consultant agreement with Eric Hall and Associates. Comments and questions on that one?
Approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Consultant agreement, sorry, expanded learning opportunities, educational services. I think what
Oh, she's
gonna
next.
say
Yes, she's
something.
next.
Thank you, President Ingram, board members, Superintendent Binks. I have in the agenda item, this is for our expanded learning opportunities program plan. So part of this is the actual plan in there and then a short presentation just to explain the components of the plan. So in conjunction with Assembly Bill 130 was really the universal pre-kindergarten plan that we talked about with our transitional kindergarten plan. So this piece goes along with it where with the expanded learning opportunities plan, it's the essence is basically to offer expanded learning opportunities after, before, or during summer sessions that expand what happens during the school day. So part of this, I just want to explain what the expanded learning opportunities program requirements are. Pieces of it is that it expands your school day basically by 3 hours for a total of a 9-hour day. Now, this is completely voluntary for parents. So it's not mandatory that parents have to have their students in here. This program is for grades TK through 6th grade as well. And then some of our students' families may be eligible to have this program for free as well if they qualify. Part of this is that it offers that academic, that social emotional support, and also physical activity as well. Parts of this actually follow the quality standards that were developed by the California Department of Education, and these are the various components within our plan, and also in the attachment, we go into further detail of what that looks like with our district. Our district is partnering with STARS, with the city of Yucaipa, and STARS is the Science, Technology, Arts, Recreation for Success After School program. And in this partnership, what we're doing together is working to where we work together with the STARS program in where they are also using our job description for our instructional aides as well. And then part of this is within each component, our staff is working with the STARS staff where we will meet with them at least once a week. Our teachers on assignment are also working with them to align academic supports and also not just with academic supports, but also different games and different resources for them to access with English language arts and also our science, technology, engineering, arts program as well. And pieces of this with it is also with engaging learning. So what we want to do is provide that piece of after school program with the academic support, but also with that physical activity. So they're using a specific program called Sparks with physical education and also sports as well as fitness. So we're really excited with that. A part of the safe and supportive environment too in our training that we're offering for them is with our positive behavior and intervention and supports is that we're going to work together in helping to train their staff with that, with also classroom management, but also executive functioning as well with student behaviors. And then also academic supports as well from our teachers on assignment. With the quality staff also, we're looking closely and working with their staff, but also Dr. Linda Moffitt, who's coming back from Dunlap Elementary. She will help oversee this program. So she will help also go in the evening and afternoons and go around to our different schools that have the program in order to help oversee and support staff as well. And part of this, basically the clear vision for our after school program in partnering with STARS is to provide opportunities for our students. And we want to provide not only the academic, the safe environment, the social emotional support, but we want to also partner with them and be very collaborative. Any needs that they may have, that our parents may have, we want to be able to support in any way that we can. And then also with the continuous quality improvement, the STARS staff plans on giving surveys intermittently to our parents to make sure that we get feedback from them so we can continuously improve our program. Are there any questions?
Just for clarification, who qualifies to attend this program?
So anyone can attend.
Is there a cost for them?
There may be a cost for some families, but some families based on their income may qualify for free. So it will depend. And I believe the link may already be up on the website. I looked today and I saw it, but they said it was going to be up July 1st, so it's already up there as well to sign up and register
How often are they meeting with our teachers on assignment?
monthly.
Sorry, I missed that.
It's okay. And we've really been in contact with their staff members on a regular basis through regular meetings more than once a month right now, just to make sure that we set up the program.
So usually it's typically younger individuals that are running stars or that are doing the supervising. They are getting training as per kind of what we like to do as well, right? That's what you said. So the people at stars are getting trained more toward the educational side of it instead of just a supervision side of it.
The position for stars will follow our job description for instructional aides, including the qualifications that we have for that as well.
That's top, that's what I heard. Just want to make sure.
It's okay. And then they're also trained in CPR and first aid.
Dr. Anderson, I see in the narrative on our agenda, it says that the program standards are aligned with the After School and Education Safety Act. Do we receive those funds as well?
Yes, we received those funds at Dunlap Elementary School.
Okay.
So part of it is we were offering that the ACES, the After School Education Safety Program, still at Dunlap. But part of that requirement is that students and families, they have to stay there until 6 o'clock p.m. every night.
Right.
And I know some feedback from Dunlap parents were that
That's a
they don't
lot.
want to do that.
That's a lot.
So that's why we worked with the city to offer both at this time. So we're offering to see if any other parents register because they have a small number this past year, but they were willing to say, okay, let's see if more parents may sign up, and they're able to do both, they'll do both.
Okay, thank you.
No other questions? I didn't take a motion there.
I move approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The next one is our kindergarten transition or kindergarten adoption.
I got a chance to look. It's kind of good, some good stuff.
Motion? Somebody?
So, yeah.
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Stella. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, 7.13 are the hatching results.
Yeah, it's for counselors. I'll move approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Bannister. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the next one is more new line touch boards.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yes.
The next item is our storage. Is this for the cloud storage? Yeah. Thinking we're going to sushi or something.
I know. Be careful, Jason, up your-
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The next one is our other internet security program, WebRoot Secure.
Move approval.
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Member Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
7.17 is amplified Google Suite Enterprise.
I'll move approval.
Go.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, 7.18 is the Follett School Solutions Destiny Postal Service.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7.19 is the NetFlood collection series, Healthline Collections.
Move approval.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now, just for clarity, I just want to make sure when maybe I should go to the next one first. Let's do 720.
Move approval.
Second.
When distance learning first started, we approved a whole bunch of online stuff. And you went through all these things and tried to pick the ones that people were using and that were working and that kind of stuff, right? Because a lot of these are the same ones we approved.
Correct.
Okay.
Our K-12 teacher team went through last year multiple times and did monitoring, progress monitoring with the different programs. And what we also use is the online criteria standards as well when looking at and evaluating these different tools.
Okay, all in favor on 720, 180?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 721 is brain pop.
I'd like to pull this item for the record, please.
Okay, completely off for another agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
I have a question regarding that.
Yeah.
Is that going to create any issues for our instructional program? I mean, what effect is that? What adverse effect might that have?
Adverse effect may be that it's not available right when school starts for teachers to utilize.
Okay.
I would hope that if we're going to be doing this, we have done.
By July.
So we have to do this. We can have it done, Dr. Anderson.
Yes, we will have that done.
Dr. Anderson's going on
Well-
vacation next week, but I'll take it up. Okay.
Well, I know that we're told, I'm assuming, I believe that we received a video. I haven't looked at anything or seen anything. Sometimes those go into my spam also. I just want to make sure that we're not hamstringing our teachers and Dr. Anderson in doing this.
Agreed, because I've used brain pop in my classroom and I love it. It's great. However, just learning this, you do a quick Google search, it is a bit controversial, so I do want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the videos and I would like.
All right, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, apologize.
Okay, so I have a motion to table this item till our next meeting, and I have a second by member Code.
Yes.
So all in favor of that?
Aye.
Is that correct? Do you think that's not the
Well-
correct procedure?
Well, I'm not sure how we can make a motion for something that's, there's no motion to pull it. Can we
Do you
just,
have a
can we just consensus? We have a consensus. And I will agree, I'll give deference to my other two board members here. And I'd probably like to look at some of the information I got too. I'm okay with that.
I can live with that.
I just want to make sure that Dr. Anderson.
I think it's important that we're on our July agenda.
Yeah,
Mrs. Superintendent.
or if there's a process where well, I don't know, we'll have to figure that out.
All right.
Then I can give the report.
That would be great. That would be great. All right, thank you. Let's go on to, you have a speaker for 7.21, Janine, but since we pulled it, we won't be hearing that item then. Okay. All right, 7.22, Imagine Learning and Edgenuity.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we have a second review regarding student admission on our board policy. Any comments or questions on that? Motion?
Move approval.
Second. Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Yes, we're down on 7.2 for second review of instruction for transitional kindergarten.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And human resources substitute teacher pay. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I'm glad we're doing this.
Thank you. Okay, we're down to our consent calendar. Any comments, changes, questions on that?
I want to abstain from the minutes, please.
Okay, you have a motion? I'm sorry.
I'm just happy to report after CIF waiting and waiting for us, and we say Pepper's principal, we did put in the name. So,
I'll move approval of all the consent items with the exception of the minutes.
Let's see, is it the minutes of all the meetings?
Well, all the, I missed two meetings.
You missed May and June.
June 4th and June 14th.
Oh, June 14th is not, so June 4th, 8.04 is the only one.
Okay, all right.
So pull 8.04, we'll vote on the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And then got a motion for 8.04.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And one
Abstain.
abstention. All right. Let's see. Okay, information section, we're on to our dashboard for.
Thank you, President Ingram. I'm going to call out Dr. Tyson Lingenfelter to help with this presentation, please.
Good evening, Superintendent Ingram and members of the board. Good evening, Sorry.
It's all right. I think I got promoted.
Or not. Just gonna do that, yeah. Good evening, President Ingram. Members of the superintendent, as well as members of Patrick. I'm here this evening to present our California School Dashboard local indicators. This is part of an annual process to provide information for decision-making and other opportunities to input into our local control and accountability plan. And it also fits into the state dashboard accountability plan. The way the dashboard is developed in conjunction with the LCAP is we're doing this really neat thing that has been going on for the past few years. We're bringing alignment to the entire process, which has been fairly refreshing for those of us who have been doing this for a while. We have a system in place, and it's been going on for a few years now, where the data that we collect as part of our accountability system is also feeding into decision-making into the local control funding formula and the plan for which we implement these things. And then the outcome goes back to being reported on the dashboard in the form of state and local indicators. So that cycle continues. And the goal, of course, is to improve student outcomes in a systematic approach. So we're looking forward to being able to go on to this next iteration of this. I did mention that the local indicators are part of the California School Dashboard. The dashboard is comprised of state indicators and local indicators. It's been a while since we talked about state indicators because they've been suspended since 2019. Just a quick refresher, these are the 6 areas that we receive state indicators in. That's the indicators of the dashboard that are color coded. The color coding has to do with the rate of improvement as well as the current status in each one of those performance areas. So since we haven't been able to be consistent these last couple of years in all of these areas of gathering the state at the state level, they have suspended that part of the state dashboard for the last 2 years. And I am hearing that we are going to receive some iteration of the state indicators next fall, but probably just status. So whatever that looks like, we'll find out in the fall. And so now that you have had a quick review of the state indicators, the other part of the school dashboard, the part we're here to discuss this evening, are the local indicators. So the local indicators are going to be reported on the California School Dashboard using one of 3 metrics: met, not met, or not met for 2 or more years. To receive the status of met, you need to meet all of those bullets that you see on the right part of the slide. We completed step 1. We are now in the process of step 2. The reporting results through the California School Dashboard will happen in the fall prior to the official release of the dashboard, usually in November, December. So these are the 5 local indicators that we are reporting on. Basic services being the first one. Basic services include whether or not all of our teachers are fully credentialed, whether our students have full access to adopted instructional materials, whether our facilities are maintaining good repair status. The dashboard requires us to report any deficiencies in any of those areas, and we are reporting 0 in all areas as far as deficiencies go. Item 2 is implementation of state academic standards. There is a template that CDE does provide that allows us to follow a rubric, if you will, for rating our progress in implementing standards, not only for subject areas, but also language development, as well as performing arts, PE, health standards, things of that nature. One of the things that really stood out in our analysis this year was improvement in scores in areas. My colleagues in education services put a lot of effort into developing our capacity in mathematics and materials, professional development, using curriculum and instruction, and that survey that we conducted focus groups was able to support the work that was done in that area. So that's good news. The next one is parent engagement. The California Department of Education doesn't really give us a lot of leeway in this work. It is a survey, a 12-item survey that we must administer. We asked 12 questions and asked parents to rate progress on a scale of 1 to 5. And so when we get that data back, we look at it in a couple of ways. We look at what is our mean score, the typical average achievement, and then what is the majority of our respondents? And what are they telling us about our progress in that area? So the nice part about it is that we have made some growth in every area, as opposed to the results we saw last year. Our mode was 5 for everyone, which is pretty exciting. One of the things that we're going to need to keep looking at is opportunities to develop community voice, particularly student voice, in this process. That's going to come up in a couple of different these indicator results that I see, but it certainly was aligned well in that parent engagement survey. The things we were good at before, we're still good at. The things we're less good at, we're still less good at. But everything is improved across the board as far as the scores go. Next one is grade 6 school climate. We surveyed eligible students in grades 5, 7, 9, and 11 in a number of areas, including school climate and connectedness, social emotional health, perceived safety at school, and information about alcohol and drugs. The majority of the student responses were in the middle of the scale. So if you're thinking about kids rating on a 4-point scale, strongly agree, strongly disagree, those kinds of things, they were kind of a lot of 2s and 3s. It's a 5-point scale. We saw a lot of 3s, but we saw a lot more 4s and 5s than we saw 1s and 2s. So it's kind of skewed towards the positive. Survey data on meaningful student participation indicated lower scores in other areas. So I mentioned earlier what was our analysis of the school climate survey, or sorry, the parent engagement survey had to do with student voice. This one kind of mirrors that. Another thing that really stood out was there were negative indicators that were reported at a much higher rate among our continuation high school students. So when we see items in the LCAP like full-time counselor, Oak Green Valley, communities engagement specialist, split between Green Valley, there's a reason for it. We're targeting our resources to the places where the data is being fixed. So that was reassuring, at least for us to know that we're putting those priorities where it's needed. Themes emerging from the analysis of this data are the needs for more equitable opportunities. And then, like I said, of course, that student voices. Lastly, access to a broad course of study. We use master schedules and course catalogs to measure access to a broad course of study. We define it as how students are able to access opportunities to engage in STEAM, music, to engage in A to G course completion, sealed by literacy opportunities, for technical education, advanced placement, learning, those types of programs at High School, and then supported by our middle schools too, that really give them access to opportunities beyond just the core curriculum. And so we're happy to report that we see continued opportunities for access there. One of the barriers that we continue to see, just like in the past, students that need additional supports, so if they fall behind with their English or math skills, finding time in their day to boost those skills and give them those needed supports often means that they don't have access to something else. So, and we continue to offer zero period, continue to offer summer school to try to combat that. But one of the things that really jumped out of the feedback I got this time that we're addressing it is that we're really putting a lot of energy into our interventions in grades K-8, particularly math. Math is a real big theme from those local indicators as far as progress that we can see. And that's one of those other opportunities for us to overcome that barrier and make sure that our students, especially when they get to the high school level, have that access to a broad course of study. There are 2 other local indicators that we really knows about because we don't have to report on them. They are reported at the county office level. That's outcomes or opportunities for expelled youth and services and supports for lost youth. That's cool. So if you ever hear any questions about those local indicators, it's not a LEA responsibility, it's a county responsibility. So that'll conclude my presentation on local indicators, and I'll entertain any questions you may have. No.
I just had a question. Okay, when you talk about parent engagement, you said this is a survey that the state gives you. Is that the same for the students, or do we create that survey?
It's different. The parent engagement component of local indicators is the only local indicator that there's a required survey per lesson.
And then the student survey we create?
We select from a variety of different surveys that are out there. We've used different ones in the past.
Are we going to be seeing the numbers that you mentioned, the progress, the ratings, like in the old dashboard when you can see something?
Yes, so
Are we going to see that eventually?
yes, I'd be happy to provide that.
With the charts and everything, but I was just kind of curious to see some of the trends.
Yes.
All right, any other questions? Marty? Thank you.
Thanks.
The next item is the the revised administrative regulation regarding student admission. For comments, we will mark it received. And the last one is the first review, 9.03, the first review of the revised board policy regarding charter school renewal. Comments, questions? Not, this is all changes to conform with the legal things with the charter schools, right? All right, then we're down to additional administrative information.
I just wanted to share when Mr. Snelling's commented on the 50 students that were certified in CPR. Wanted to thank in years past CAL FIRE, who have made sure that our kids were ready to go. And then this year, Cal Mesa Fire has spent a lot of time on the high school campus and making sure that our kids were assessed well. So for the public, what they would do is as the students would be practicing using the CPR dummies, I hate to use that word, the little dummies, but they would actually have a paramedic or EMT or a firefighter standing behind them, giving them feedback, so to ensure that they would be able to pass the test. So we really appreciate our partners, Cal Fire, Cal Mesa Fire. They've been really, really helpful.
Questions? All right, well, stick around, Mr. Snelling.
At our last board meeting, Dr. Greenman and Dr. Anderson presented us information regarding the LCAP and the budget. And we're able to take a few slides to explain it clearly to us. And I really do appreciate that because our LCAP is 146 pages long, if my memory serves me correct. And the budget's 154 pages long. So that's 300 pages that it's very difficult to digest all of that. So I really appreciate the way that you're able to streamline that to explain it to not only us, but to our public. So thank you.
I attended the CRIROP meeting too, and I just can't say enough about the program that they have and that we're part of. Every time I go, it makes me super excited. Another thing that did happen, the 50 students, but also 25 medical assistant students passed the NCCT certification exam. That's cool. That's hard. That's cool they did that. So anyways, I just love CRIROP. I'm so glad we're partnered with them. Also, I'm so excited about our new principal. That just makes me my heart happy, and I see great things. I really enjoy getting to know him, and really excited. So,
Yeah, I too would like to congratulate Mr. Gervais. I'm pretty excited, and I too see great things.
Yes, I will reiterate that private principal at high school, that feels really good. It feels like we accomplished something momentous. And I know that there was a lot of hard work and a lot of careful thought put into that. And I'm looking forward to it.
I have one more comment that we were all able to go to the joint issues now colleagues. I'm sorry, were you there? You weren't there. Somebody was missing. Sorry. I knew there was somebody missing. Anyway, the joint issues collaborative community meeting or whatever they're trying to change the name to. We have, City of Calabasas, City of Yucaipa, Water District, Cal Fire. Community college, that's right. And it was a really nice meeting and a lot of information. You guys did a great job putting together. I want to thank Stella for all of her decorations and everything that you worked on for that, because I know you did a lot for that, and it turned out really, really, really well. So,
And your nutrition services.
Oh my gosh.
show, that was the best dinner prime rib chicken I've ever had.
It was
I mean,
better than these restaurants.
Yeah, no, our food services.
Food services did a great job. Okay. All right, any other comments? Then I will adjourn the meeting and we have to go back to the closed session.